So today we've got a lot of transplanting to do. I've kind of gotten behind on it, partly because the weather, partly because I've been busy. Anyways, we washed up a bunch of pots the other day, and I have to transplant into pots some of the little cubes that we have, as well as a bunch of plants. So we'll get as much done as we can and show you the results. We're also going to end with a little greenhouse tour and show you the difference. The plants seem to have grown a lot in the last little while. So, hope you enjoy. So I've never grown a Cape gooseberry or a ground cherry from seed before. So I'm kind of excited that I have them. I found the germination for the Cape gooseberry wasn't as good in these little blocks as it was in the cell packs, but the ground cherries did really well in them. This little guy is just barely there, and I'm thankful to have the two here that I have. It's kind of exciting when you've never grown something before and you grow it for the first time. So here we've transplanted our ground cherries, Aunt Molly's ground cherries. A whole lot more to transplant, and this is our Cape gooseberries. So I finished transplanting all the ground cherries, and I think I got a little carried away. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with all these ground cherries. I've never grown them before, so I don't know what my harvest is going to be like and how much space they're going to take up, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to give some away. So I've decided I'm going to leave the onions for another day, but I am going to make some soil blocks and sow some millet. I've been aching to see if my store-bought millet that I buy and use all the time will grow and germinate. So here goes. So I use millet for a lot of things. We make millet milk, we make millet cream cheese, we make millet pudding, we make millet a lot of things. But I was trying to figure out which kind of millet to grow. I want to grow the kind that I eat. And there's a few different varieties of millet, and I couldn't figure out which one was the one that they sell in the store that we eat. So my thought was, try to grow the one that I buy and that I eat and see what it turns out like. So I just have a handful of the millet that I took out of my cupboard, and we're going to plant them and see how they do. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. You lose nothing by trying, except maybe a little handful of millet. So I'm not sure how deep to plant them. I'm just going to go with the typical seed. I think this is probably about a 1/4 inch. And I'm excited. I'm so excited to see how this works, because this is such an important part of our diet. Looks like I could sow a few trays here, so I'll keep those for later. And I'm just going to cover these up lightly, fill in the holes with my mix here, water them, and see how they do. I'm really feeling like this year we really need to grow our own grains. So we're going to be growing some amaranth. We've grown it in the past, just because I thought it was beautiful. So we're going to grow hot biscuits again this year. And we're going to show you the whole process. If these come up and we can grow them, we'll show you how we clean them and recipes that we use. And that's it. Since it's an overcast day, I thought it'd be a great day to get some of these plants that so badly need to get transplanted out and into the beds. And hopefully they'll do all right and bounce back. I know their zucchini especially is a little overgrown, but we'll see how it does. So we planted them so that the soil was at the same level as what the soil that they were in, and we gave them some room by zigzagging them and kept about a foot spacing from the outsides of the bed, 2 feet from each other. And now we're going to plant some nasturtium and some borage in with them and possibly some beans, but first I'm going to give them a good watering. So we're going to plant dwarf jewel nasturtium and some strike beans from M.I. Gardner. And we planted our borage, one here and one over there. I was thinking I would just put a few of these in the corner, and they can grow out from under the zucchini and see how they do. That's that. And I was thinking of planting our beans in the back. These are a bush bean. I'm just placing them about 5 to 6 inches apart. And there we go. So I thought I would just go over what we've added to this bed today. We've planted some little yellow pot marigolds around the tomato plant. We just planted them around the radishes. We have licorice basil here, and another one transplanted here, and another one over here, and then again the pot marigolds on the other side. I didn't fill up everything because I plan on planting peppers in the front and in the back once some of the radishes are harvested. So I'm pretty happy with how this bed is going. The radishes are doing really well. Looks like we'll have a good harvest of them soon, and then I'll be able to, it'll be in time for me to plant out the other things that are going in this bed. Over here we planted, they didn't germinate as well, they must have been older seed, but we planted a few cinnamon basil. I usually only got about 1 or 2 per plug, so that's those. And over here, and then I went ahead, we had planted cherry bell radishes all in with the tomatoes, and we left an opening on this side, and we wanted to plant some summer radishes. So these are a white hybrid radish, and those are going to be ready in the summer. We planted, I have to get this stapled up, but in the back all along here we planted nasturtium every once in a while, and then we planted a blue climbing pea here and a super sugar snap over here on this side of the trellis. So we'll see how that goes. In this bed we planted some borage in the center, some dill, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, and then another borage there, and then we planted out all of our Adam F1 hybrid cucumbers on this side. And over in this bed we transplanted a couple of dill in the empty spots, I think that's it for that bed. And then over here I planted a little bit more of the licorice basil. One there and one over here, little clump. I transplanted the extra zucchini plants into 4-inch pots. They're going to go in a bed down there that isn't filled yet, so for now that'll keep them hopefully from being too sad. And then under here, so we have our dill that we planted, but here I was going to plant nasturtium. I'm still debating whether I'm going to plant the nasturtium there and plant the radishes, the summer radishes around the zucchini plants, or if I'm going to plant them here instead of the nasturtium. So we'll see how it goes. That'll be for after lunch. So I'm really happy with the way things are growing out here. I have to say things are looking pretty good and I'm pretty excited. We haven't been having the heat that we would normally have in here, and yet things are still doing really well, which is really encouraging to me. I'll just show you some of the progress. So the tomatoes that we transplanted are just, I don't know, they're just looking so stocky. They're strong and healthy. And the radishes are just growing every day. Like, they're getting bigger every day. We actually tried some the other day, and there's a whole bunch more that are coming. And these radishes are looking great. Like, the tops are wonderful. These were the cherry bell, but these are a white icicle, I believe. And you can eat the tops of the summer varieties as far as I know. These are doing really well and they're daikon. And the carrots finally have their true leaves, which is really nice and encouraging. The beets are looking good, although I have to say it was old seed and the germination didn't do very well. I am going to be replanting some in between. Our original planting of Swiss chard, kale, and lettuce is doing really well. And over here, there's just so much going on. We harvested a bit the other day to have on our burgers, but we haven't harvested a salad yet, although I think we're really close to being able to start harvesting salad. The cucumbers are just starting to get their true leaves and starting to look like they're wanting to grow again. These are the ones we sowed out here. Now, compared to the ones that we sowed in the house and transplanted, these guys seem to be bouncing back really well, and they kind of have a head start. So I am glad that I tried both ways. Our tomatoes over here in the herb bed are looking gorgeous. I don't know if it shows through, but their stems are so strong and stocky, and they're starting to get little suckers, which can be little plants. We're going to show that in another video.